Hey friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today we are going to do a little bit of work on the front of the house. Here we are, oh my gosh, very end of August. September is here. Cannot believe it. It still feels very much like summertime here in North Carolina. We have the Hurricane Idalia coming through. We're good. We're not in her path at all. People have asked and how we're going to be affected by that. If anything, we're going to get a little rain this afternoon, and that is it. So thank you for your thoughts. Prayers for those people who are definitely in the path of the hurricane, because hurricanes are no joke. We know that here in the South for sure. Before the rains come, we are going to do a little bit of work, like I said, up here on the front of the house. You were with me, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, when we were here and we trimmed the boxwoods. So give you a little update on that. People were asking about, how do you keep them from, burning and leaf tip burn on your boxwoods, pruning them in the wintertime. Excuse me, I can't even talk. Summertime. Yeah, they have flushed out, just started putting on that new growth again. Anytime you cut a boxwood, you're gonna have some signs of that you are pruning them, but they have starting to flush out, like I said, with that nice new green growth, got the nice shape to it. And so I've got my boys over there. Jackson is going to get the tractor and come in and re-mulch this because it has not been mulched. So we're gonna get the lipstick or the earrings of the outfit, as I say, and get that mulched. So he is gonna do that for me. He is currently taking some landscape staples and coming in behind, because behind the boxwoods, this is where we have our landscape lighting wires. I think you can see those right there. He is tacking those down for me. So next year when we prune the boxwoods, the wires won't get caught up in the rake, because that is always just a pain in the tushy when those wires get caught in the rake. So he's doing that. Then gonna lay down some mulch for me. Brenna has the zoomies today, so if you see her running around, that's what's happening there. Can we talk just for a second before we get to what we're gonna be doing? Can we talk about these hanging baskets? Oh my gosh, y'all. Glorious. So in these hanging baskets, I have dragon wing begonias. They are the pink, and then the diamond frost euphorbia. Planted these halfway through the season because my spring planting, it just doesn't get enough sun here. I thought these were going to be full sun areas, and obviously I've planted here many times before, but it turns out it's going to be a little bit more shady. So these plants can take hot afternoon sun for just a couple of hours, and they are magnificent, which is exactly what I was going for with those baskets. They're 24 inches wide. They are massive. Got them at Kinsman Garden Company. You can check them out and look at all the hanging baskets that they offer. The main goal that I'm going to be after today, the main chore, job, task, what I'm going to be doing, we are going to be tackling the beautiful beast, Sweet Caroline Bewitched Green with Envy. This vine is, I love it because it is tight, compact growth, but it is a sweet potato vine and it is rather vigorous. So I think you can probably see here, my grass, the edge is right here, and of course this is a curved bed. So in the center, I've got probably a foot of sweet potato vine coming out into the grass. And while the look doesn't bother me, it's going to be killing my grass underneath the sweet potato vine. And considering that this is about to be done in, I don't know, 8 weeks because of a freeze, I want to go ahead and get it trimmed up. So what we're going to do is, over there in the back of Johnny, I have got my hedge trimmers. Y'all know how much I adore my hedge trimmers. So we're going to come along and just around and get this pruned back within the bed, so that way the grass does not die. Also, you'll probably notice there are some weeds in here. It's life. It is gardening. So we're going to get in here, clean it up, clean out the weeds. They're especially bad back there behind my sun patience, in that little area, that little nook back there. So we're going to get in here, weed the bed, and yes, the sweet potato vine is overtaking the sun patience. At this point in the season, I don't care. They are overtaking it. It's okay. If I had maintained this throughout the season, it would have been tighter. My sun patience would have been more visible. But yeah, At this point in the season, end of August, 1st of September, I don't care. That's not a battle I'm going to choose to take on. I am just going to weed it, trim it up. Then we're going to go through, I'm going to show you my tea olives because you were with us when we pruned those. So once we get the beds cleaned up, we're going to go back through and do more of an in-depth garden tour, show you everything, tell you all the plants, all the good details that you lovely gardeners want to know about. So what I'm going to do is just set up the camera, and then I'm just going to kind of show you. It is sweet potato vine. You cannot over prune or hurt sweet potato vine. In fact, probably when I prune it, it's going to give it like a shot of confidence, and it's going to be like, ha ha ha, you think you can contain me? Watch this, and it'll probably start growing crazy again. So don't be afraid to prune your sweet potato vine. Annuals, as a general whole, I would say 99.9% of annuals love to be pruned and respond really, really well to being pruned. So that is what we're going to do, get those hedge trimmers, set up the camera, show you how easy it is. Ta-da! Just like that, the sweet potato vine has been pruned back, put back into the confines a little bit more. That way, when the grass gets mowed, so our nephew Logan comes and cuts the grass for us on Saturdays. So, hey Logan, cuts the grass and then comes through and like edges all the beds. Obviously, he's not been able to get to it, and like a sweet young man that he is, he knows better than to just run over the sweet potato vine. So he's been kind of going around it, but now he can mow it, he can edge it, and the grass can stay nice and thick on this edge. Don't want the sweet potato vine to kill the grass. Just don't. And so I'm telling you, if y'all don't have one of these electric trimmers, they are a game changer, because doing that using the trimmer instead of doing it by hand and using clippers, which you absolutely can do, it just goes so much faster. When I use, Jerry got for me, we're big users of the Stihl products, and this one is a couple of years old, so the models may be different, but I know a lot of people ask about these. This is the Stihl HSA 66, and I really do like their products. So I know it may sound weird, but if you've got somebody in your life that would use this, and you know, Christmas is coming up, I'm just saying, Christmas present for a gardener, they could really enjoy it. And that, and like all their electric products, I love, because while they're not as powerful as obviously a gasoline engine one, they just work really well for me. They're lightweight. I can easily get them, start them, and they do exactly what I need to be done. So with the sweet potato vine, it's just all trimmed up. And yes, right now you can clearly tell that it has been pruned. I could go back even more back into the bed to make sure that it doesn't come back over on the grass. I'm not going to. I think that might make it look just a little bit even more severe, and I think we'll be okay as far as being able to maintain this edge before, you know, the freeze comes, or before we have to really kind of trim them back, because of course this fall we will reseed our grass. Whenever we're out in the yard talking about the grass and all the different products in just our yard, a lot of people will ask like what grass we have, especially in the wintertime, because it's nice and green. We have fescue, so it's a fescue blend of grass. Fescue is a cool weather grass as opposed to like Bermuda, zoysia, centipede. Those are all hot weather grasses, meaning that they thrive the most in the heat, and then in the wintertime they will go dormant, and so they're brown. Fescue is the opposite. If any time it's going to go dormant, it is going to be in the heat of the summer, which would be now. But if you keep water on it and your cooler temperatures, it will stay nice and green. Ours never goes completely brown. So we are blessed here in where we are in North Carolina. We can do either. We could do the warm weather grass or the cool weather grass. So we choose to go with fescue, so that way we can have green year round. Now what we're going to do is the fun task of getting in here and weeding. So we have, and I don't know what kind of weed this is. Y'all are smarter than I am, so if you know what that grass is, that weed is, not that it really matters, it's just a pesky one, and my gosh, it is in this bed. So year after year, I deal with that weed, and it kind of comes in. The good thing is it's like a little shrub, because I can pull the main stalk and then it comes right out of the ground. So it is in here. That is what's mostly in here. And then in the back, I've just got some good old-fashioned weeds that are going to get taken out there. So we're going to get this bed cleaned up. Jackson got one section of mulch done. I'll show you that in a little bit. And I think he's coming to do now this section of boxwoods for me as well. So I'm going to weed and he's going to lay down some mulch. Alrighty, my friends, today's project is complete. Not a massive project, not strenuous by any means, didn't take a lot of time. Jackson doing the mulch for me was a tremendous help, made it go even faster. But this is the time of season where, you pick your battles and you do small projects. Even though it was a small project, it is cloudy. The humidity dew point is absolutely cranking right now. And yeah, Jenny's glistening pretty good here. But this makes me feel so much better, because this is one of those little things that has been driving me bananas for quite a while now. Because if you know, we spend a lot of time on our front porch, and Jerry and I have coffee there in the morning. We spend a lot of time. The kids are eating lunch right now. So we see this space all the time, and I like it to look neat and tidy. With Jackson putting down my mulch around the boxwoods, that is a tremendous help. Stapled down the lighting wire so we don't have to worry about that next year. And so it all just looks really nice. You'll notice that I had Jackson not put the mulch super close to the grass right here, and because a couple of reasons. One, so that way Logan, when he mows, he can get nice and close to it. When he edges it, you're not going to be slinging mulch everywhere. And when we get rain, which we're probably going to get rain from this hurricane, the outer skirts of it, the water is supposed to flow through here right across, and then comes down this little trench gully, whatever you want to call it, comes right through here. And if I have mulch, it's going to wash, especially when we have just these downpours, and it will just wash. So yes, there's a little bit through there. It's all right, but we don't take the mulch all the way up to the grass for really just kind of functionality issues. But mulch is down, looks really, really nice. And then of course the sweet potato vine. So you can see how that curve continues and getting that Bewitched Green with Envy cut back. Logan can come when he comes on Saturday. He will get all this cleaned up for me right here as far as the grass. You can see where some of that grass was already starting to turn yellow. So that means that it was on the process of dying out. We have avoided that, so that's nice, but you can clearly see, at least I can, hopefully the camera will show it, where we have got tall grass all the way out to here, all the way down. So that's how far that sweet potato vine had come out. Got it nice and cleaned up. Oh man, I was about to say all the weeds are out, but I see one hiding right there. I'll grab it in a second. But all the weeds have been pulled out, especially back there behind the Sun Patience, just neat and tidy. So these are the Sun Patience Compact Purple, and I love them. Looking back, I should have gone with a taller Sun Patient. It seems like the blush pink, which I have on the back patio, is taller, and that's what I would need, something taller here, because the Sun Patients are big. It's not like they're dwarf. They're not. They're nice and big. The sweet potato vine just is taller. So sweet potato vine, Bewitched Green with Envy. Again, love this. First time I've grown it, even though it's been on the market for a while, but it's compact. And even though, yes, it's spread, I didn't have like stringy runners, if that makes any kind of sense. Next, we have the Dwarf Hortsman. This is a blue Atlas cedar. Oh my gosh, y'all, it loves this spot. This has been in here for maybe 4 years at the most, 3 or 4 years, and it just grows. You can see that tip, nice bright green growth, and so she's going out more than she is tall and doing really nicely. Not on irrigation. None of this bed is on irrigation, to give you a little perspective on that. Next, back here in the back, we have our sweet osmanthus. We call them tea olives. It depends on your region. They are a southern shrub. Some people call them sweet olives. Tea olive, sweet osmanthus. It is the same plant. It is an evergreen shrub, small tree. It blooms on old growth, and I can't quite, I'm too short, but up here at the top, we're starting to get some little buds. So the amazing thing about the sweet osmanthus is, one, it is an evergreen, so I get great structure year round. It is taller than it is wide, so it makes a great privacy screen. They're fast growers, so if you want something that is evergreen, fast growing, but you don't want like some type of arborvitae or a thuya, something like that, sweet osmanthus is a great option for you. My favorite part though is that they bloom in the fall, winter, early spring. So fall is their main season, and then depending on the temperatures, they will bloom off and on in the winter and into spring. Very small, delicate, light orange, yellow flowers. The flowers, the presentation of the flowers is not what is so amazing. It is the fragrance. It is the most delicious, like orangey, honeysuckle, jasmine-y, heavy fragrance that is just to die for. Love this fragrance. And in fact, I was on the front porch this morning doing a little bit of work, and I got just the first little whiff to die for. Now, side note, if you are a lover of tea olives, sweet olives like I am, a customer actually turned me on to a candle that smells very much as close as I've ever gotten to a tea olive. And so I'm huge fans of Hometown Ben and Erin Napier down in Laurel, Mississippi. Erin has the best line of candles. If you're a candle lover, oh my gosh, check her candles out. They are amazing. But the Laurel candle smells, that sweet osmanthus, to die for. Just, I cannot tell you enough. Great Christmas present. When I do like housewarming presents or a hostess gift, I'll always take a candle, and it's one of Erin's because they are divine. So a little side note for you there. Check them out. But yeah, I feel great. This is done. I'm gonna go eat lunch with the family. Jerry just got back from the nursery, so we're gonna have lunch. Y'all just get out there. I know at this time of year, it is miserable to be in your garden. Find one little project to do. Want something little. It does not have to be ginormous. Again, I said you this the other day. We are not spending 8 hours in the garden. Nope, not happening, not whatsoever. Go out and spend 5 minutes, an hour. If you can do an hour, then you're fantastic. So anyway, get out there, enjoy it as best you can. If you pick a project like I did, then the good will outweigh the sweat. So as always, we so appreciate you. Thank you so much for gardening with Creekside. Y'all have a fantastic day. We'll see you in the next video. Stay cool, friends. Bye.